neuen Folge Let's Play and Talk Disco Elysium. Und wir sind zurück in Show. Und ja, ich habe die Dialoglautstärke etwas hochgestellt im Spiel, weil ich das Gefühl hatte, dass es teilweise halt ein bisschen sehr leise war. Und ja. So, nachdem wir in der letzten Folge herausgefunden haben, dass wir scheinbar irgendwann mal ein relativ erfolgreicher Polizist gewesen sind, oder was heißt eigentlich ein recht guter Polizist, wollen wir darüber natürlich mehr erfahren. Aber in erster Linie müssen wir natürlich immer noch den Toten runterkriegen da. Ja. Das heißt, ich brauche noch irgendwas, um meinen Brechreiz irgendwie unterdrücken zu können. Und ja, und dass wir die Leiche da runterkriegen. So. Ich weiß nicht.
Welcome to Rivachol.
Blärt der rundliche Mann. Die Bemerkung ist nicht an dich gerichtet, sondern an den Lieutenant. Warum sagen Sie etwas zu meinem Partner?
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago.
Oh. Okay.
Every school of thought and government has failed in this city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
Ich sag nichts.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Mhm. Das war vor kurzem Krieg, ja.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Ja, danke. Das, ja, ist logisch. Er hat recht, sie sabotieren unsere beste Chance auf echte Selbstbestimmung.
Oh, come on, man. I just said, welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Da haben Sie total recht, Kim. Ich bin auf Ihrer Seite. Knufft ihn an der Schulter. Tja. Ich glaube, wir haben hier alle was gelernt. Ja, lächeln tue ich dir nicht.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
Muss ich auf den Boden spucken.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Jetzt, wo das geklärt ist, hätten wir ein paar Fragen.
Whatever you say, officers.
Er wartet teilnahmslos, während seine Zigarette zwischen seinen Fingern glimmt.
He smells of heavy motor oils and his breath of high tar content cigarettes, probably Astra Whites.
Worum ging es bei diesem Streik?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races.
Alter, hör mal rumzurotzen, bitte.
Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Um ehrlich zu sein, weiß ich nicht mehr, was das bedeutet. Bitte erklären Sie es mir.
People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
Ja, ich merke schon, was für ein Paradebeispiel für natürliche Überlegenheit Sie sind.
Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority, they stop competing for resources.
Ja. Und? Wo ist das Problem?
The problem? The damn kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other introduced species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
Er wirft Lieutenant Gizuragi einen vielsagenden Blick zu.
Cultural victory? What is this then?
Moment, was ist denn ein kultureller Sieg?
It's what the kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to win. They say so themselves.
Sage nix.
It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring.
Ach du Scheiße. Alter, das erinnert mich so sehr an das, was so in den letzten Jahren hier in Deutschland los gewesen ist. Ganzen... Oh Mann. Wissen Sie was? Für mich ist das überhaupt nicht okay. Ficken Sie sich doch. Ja, das würde Tobi sagen, aber würde das auch... Naja, wahrscheinlich würde ich das nicht sagen, weil so kommt man nicht weiter. Okay, klar, wie Sie meinen. Ich würde lieber etwas anderes reden.
Go right ahead. You may be a cop, but that won't help you avoid the calamity to come.
Lieutenant Kisaragi's stern expression remains unchanged, but you sense something there, below. Not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet, he thinks, wriggled out of it.
Was haben Sie geladen?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
Moment, wie lange geht das denn schon so?
The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last week or so.
Was für Fracht sollen Sie denn abholen?
Apples.
Äpfel. Aha.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Das klingt mir suspekt.
Look, as detective. I come from a long line of lorrymen. We got ancient rights and privileges.
Ihm reißt der Geduldsfaden, dir das zu erklären.
Oh, I'm here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man. Just regular, Koiko picked apples.
Koiko may be another derogative for a person from Grad, you think.
Ach, in Grad werden also Äpfel angebaut.
Yep, it's one of their main exports. They grow them down South Yekokata. A beautiful place. Got great scenic vistas.
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland whose name literally translates to Zone of Ecological Catastrophe. It features no scenic vistas and supports virtually no plant or animal life.
Yokata liegt nicht im Süden und dort werden definitiv keine Äpfel angebaut.
Yeah? Says who?
Steckt im Namen, die Zone der ökologischen Katastrophe.
Then, I guess they grow apples somewhere else. You can never really tell with those koikos. They're everywhere, except their own homes.
Boah, Alter, da kriege ich echt... Schwillt mir der Kamm. Reden ständig von Koikos. Was bedeutet das eigentlich?
He means the people living in Grad.
Ja, das sollte er mir sagen. Danke.
Yeah, you know, Grad nix, Grad Volk. Those degenerates from Grad.
Okay, das ist also ein Schimpfname.
Hey, if the name and description fit by the very grace of nature, who am I to say otherwise?
Also, darf ich die Äpfel sehen?
Did you miss the part where I said they aren't here yet? Besides, even if I did have some, I wouldn't go putting my nose in them, huh?
Er betrachtet mich mit einem seltsamen Funkeln in den Augen.
Relax. You've got all you can get here. He probably doesn't even know what he's hauling, even if it is something unsavory. So he'd remain unaccountable.
Wir hatten die Rechte und Privilegien von Lastwagenfahrern erwähnt.
Oh yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter, had a royal license and everything. We've tried to hold on to our privileges.
Moment, was ist ein Fuhrmann?
Someone with a cart. What did you think it was? That's how deep into history our thing reaches. Before machines.
Und das ist ein Privileg.
Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient. Very prestigious.
Also ist es wie eine Art von Gewerkschaft.
Hell no. It's a guild. Invitation only. Unions work for the rich fucks. They're basically the same. Been trying to fuck us out of our heritage in the name of profit, but you can't replace experience. Trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck them right up the ass. Mark my words. Generations of practice and no laughing matter.
Ja, das wäre dann erstmal alles. Was passiert hier?
Volumetric shit compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
Okay. Alle weißen Würfelproben für Ausdauer freigeschaltet. Lerngrenze für Ausdauer auf 4 erhöht. Cool. Jump Jams, ein beliebtes Musikmagazin. Ein Hochglanzmagazin, die kräftigsten Männer. Diese Ausgabe enthält eine Top-10-Liste. Okay. Untersuche die Leiche des Opfers. Dann kann ich die jetzt untersuchen, ja. Halt. Das ist ja auch noch ein Schild. Fritisch. 3T, wie idiomatisch. Okay. Ja, also gehen wir jetzt erst dahin. Oder... Ne, wir gucken erstmal nach der Leiche. Ja, aber der Typ gerade, der war ja schon heftig. Aber wenn man hier die gewissen Leute, richtigen Leute trifft, kann man sich hier in Deutschland zur jetzigen Zeit genau den gleichen Scheiß anhören. Oder ähnlich zumindest. Ja. Aber ich weiß auch nicht. Wahrscheinlich funktioniert die Welt nicht anders, ohne solche Idioten.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Okay. Plus 6, scheiß beisammen. Okay. Dann probieren wir jetzt mal.
As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Yay.
It's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattoos and tendons.
Liegen die immer so?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
Ja, logisch, ne?
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Industriestärke. Okay. Gut, ich untersuche die Stiefel.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them.
Okay. Stiefel aus Keramik. Mir sah aus wie Truppenstiefel. Aber die waren sicher nicht aus Keramik.
Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
Ja, wie eine Leiche, die am Baum hängt.
These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Und keine gewöhnlichen Stiefel. Das ist Panzerung.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
Panzerschuhe.
Oh, the lieutenant uses a memo technique A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic.
Vergiss das Notizbuch, erzähl mir etwas über die Panzerung.
It's clearly some manner of super armor or future armor. Super future armor? I'm useless.
Super. Was für eine Rüstung ist das genau?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Oh.
Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
Was ist mit dem Rest davon passiert? Ja, das werden die wohl mitgenommen haben.
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days.
Ja gut, kannst du wahrscheinlich verkaufen oder halt weiterverarbeiten.
We should keep a lookout for this species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
Okay. Ja, dass er nur die Stiefel getragen hat, ist ja wohl sehr unwahrscheinlich.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
Dieses Material ist hier irgendwie fehl am Platz.
It is. It's expensive.
Der Lieutenant malt mit seinem Zeigefinger am Kondenswasser auf der Keramik eine Linie.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
Ja, super. Was kostet der Spaß denn?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Wow. Ja, gut, okay.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 Real, unadjusted for rank.
5.500 Real? Im Jahr? Moment. Mein Jahresgehalt beträgt 5.500 Real?
Not too much, yes.
Es reicht. Wir haben sie, die müssen wir Geschäfte machen und weniger grollen. Sind ja nur Almosen, kein Wunder, dass ich meine Hostelrechnung nicht begleichen kann. Nee, wir haben sie, ich muss mehr Geschäfte machen und weniger grollen.
I have no idea what that means.
Wie konnte sich dieser Mann eine solche teure Ausrüstung leisten? Eine solch teure Ausrüstung.
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
Die Ausrüstung ist für einen Sicherheitsbediensteten aber auf sehr hohem Niveau.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Klopfe an den Stiefel.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Klingt zerbrechlich.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Zeigt auf den Stiefel.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether. Like whirls of floorboards, the design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
Woran erinnern mich die?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
Okay. Ich fahre mit meinem Finger über die Linien.
The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination, E50, 100, 1000.
Ich zeige darauf. Anscheinend ist eine Seriennummer auf den rechten Panzerschuh.
Good. Can you read it to me?
Er tippt sich mit der austrocknenden Spitze des Kugelschreus auf die Zunge.
X5415 6745 678222.
Nein.
Let's lie.
Nein, wir lügen nicht.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
Ich den Stiefel abziehen?
The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Stop!
Mahnt mich der Leutnant mit strenger Stimme. Er sieht mich an, wie du den Stiefel unter den Arm hältst.
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
Lieutenant, Sie sehen bestürzt aus. Weshalb?
You're about to pull his head off.
Oh.
Do it, homo!
Was soll ich machen?
Pull his head off. There's no point performing an autopsy if you do. We'll have compromised the coroner's case.
Oh Mann.
Indeed, from this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much more. Being dead for a week has all but liquefied his muscles.
Fuck.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
Sind so Detectives, oder? Im Stiefel könnten sie Spuren verbergen.
How many clues do you need? You already found a number. Besides,
Er klopft auf den Stiefel.
there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't scavenged them yet?
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down, and second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Den Toten die Stiefel stehlen? Aber das wäre unehrenhaft. Ich lehne ab, der Ehre wegen.
All right then, you can pay the hostel bill in honor points. How many honor points have you collected?
Alles klar, verstanden.
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
Ja, ich weiche zurück und betrachte die Leiche.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Ich untersuche die Tätowierungen.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Das ist ein Nationalmuster.
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship. But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure.
Wir übersehen hier doch etwas.
I agree.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Lass den Leutnant arbeiten.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
Er holt 2 Blitzlichtbirnen mit Metallkappen hervor und klemmt sie an der dafür vorgesehenen Halterung an der Seite des Apparats fest. Dort funkelt ein dünner Schlitz.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
Er richtet die Kamera auf die Leiche und späht hindurch. Die Linse muss scharf gestellt werden. Dann
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
nice. Aber auch irgendwie eklig.
In case we need it.
Cooler Apparat.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
Er schiebt die Kamera wieder zu und packt sie an seinen Gürtel weg.
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Kann ich es haben? Ich möchte es mir später anschauen, ohne den Leichengeruch.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
Er gibt dir das eingerollte Stück Fotopapier. Er ist kaum größer als eine Zigarettenschachtel.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Ich untersuche den Gürtel.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch.
Ja, also diese Baugurte.
This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Fragen Sie mich nicht, woher ich das weiß, aber das ist ein Spanngurt, der zum Lufttransport von Frachten verwendet wird.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Anscheinend ist das die versteckte Ausführung für Lufttransporte. Das sagt mir mein Gehirn. Aber was weiß ich schon? Ich weiß ja nicht mal, was ein Luftschiff ist. Ja, aber scheinbar ja schon. Das ist eine Enzyklopädie.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
Die wollten sicher gehen, dass er auch da oben bleibt. Der Gurt ist mit Stahlfäden verstärkt.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
Dann haben wir die Hafenarbeiter im Verdacht. Hafenarbeiter im Verdacht. Ja, aber das könnte doch zu naheliegend sein.
The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
Meine Vergangenheit wurde vollständig ausgelöscht. Nichts ist geblieben, weder meine Mutter noch die Liebe meines Lebens und es recht keine Zusammenfassung.
Okay, you should ask me for one the first moment we get.
Okay. Wie ihn die da hochbekommen haben, die haben den da halt einfach hochgebunden.
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Zeigt auf die Schnelle, die ein Gutes an den Ast bindet. Ja, garantiert sind die da hochgekommen. Oh Mann, manchmal.
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Ihr macht eine Ziehbewegung.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
Ich weiche zurück und betrachte die Leiche.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
So, und wie bekommen wir ihn da herunter?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Ja, dann gucke ich
The
einmal.
cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Ihm in die Augen.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Verrate mir, wer du bist, Toter.
I'm gone.
Ich kann sehen, dass du tot bist, aber wer bist du?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
Und dir ist nichts Witziges.
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Wer warst du, als du noch gelebt hast?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
Ich habe nur noch eine Frage an dich.
Go ahead, Coppo.
Wo bist du hin?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Wo ist das?
In the past. Way out in the west.
Was ist denn jetzt los?
What do you mean?
Ich rede mit dir.
It's the power of your
Auf seinen Lippen bildet sich schwarzer Schaum.
imagination.
Ja, geil. Mann,
Go ahead. Ask me more questions.
es reicht.
You've come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Ich kneife die Augen zusammen und gehe einen Schritt zurück.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Ich beobachte.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
Sein Gesicht und seine Hände sind pink, die Oberschenkel auch.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
Ich entspanne meine Augen.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
Er ist übel zugerichtet. Sehen Sie die Prellung?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Penner.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
Ey.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
Ich glaube, dass er nach dem Tod in aufrechter Lage war. Seine Hände, Füße und der Hals sind verfärbt. Ja, der hängt da ja auch.
Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
Ja, sieht mir nach einem Lynchmord aus.
Everything here seems to corroborate that assumption. But we should still get him down before assigning a probable cause of death.
Da kommt etwas aus ihm heraus.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
Ja, was die Annahme untermauert, dass er erhängt wurde. Weil meistens, man entleert sich oft, wenn man stirbt. Also man stirbt ja nur einmal, aber viele entleeren sich dann. Ja.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Entschuldigung.
Talking about shit.
Da mehr Glück.
Did we? I don't feel lucky.
Gut, ich weiche zurück und schnapp nach Luft.
But there is no breath to catch, only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
Ja, die Voruntersuchung ist fertig. Holen wir ihn von da oben runter.
The steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Könnten den Ast absägen.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Ja, nun gut, könnte gefährlich sein.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Vielleicht können wir im Hafen Hilfe auftreiben.
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have an agenda.
Einen Moment, überlegen wir uns noch einmal.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Ideen aus, schauen wir uns noch einmal um. Okay. Alles klar. Oh ja, sehr passend. Ich würde mich auch sagen, ich habe schon wieder überzogen. Dann ist das Video so groß. Machen wir an dieser Stelle Schluss. Ich danke vielmals fürs Zuschauen. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Wenn ja, dann lasst einen Daumen nach oben da. Ein Abo wäre auch nice. Und ja, wir sehen uns dann morgen wieder. Bis dahin, alles Gute, bleibt gesund, bleibt sicher. Bye bye, euer Tobi.